Hello everyone, CaddywhumpusGamer here, bringing you another episode of Minecraft Awakening. Today's episode we are going to be continuing Applied Energistics and how to make an ME system. Last episode I showed you how to make the energy acceptor, how to make the crystal growth chamber, how to make the Certus quartz charger, and you can see that I have some inscribers here, and you would have seen me make those on camera, but I didn't realize that my video recording software wasn't open, so I hit the record button, didn't make sure it was recording, did the whole episode, and turned out I wasn't recording. But it works out because otherwise you wouldn't have seen a whole system just because it took so long to make these and the parts and all the other stuff, so hopefully we can get through it today. Alright, so you're going to want to make an inscriber. And the recipe for that... Oh, there it went. Okay, the recipe for the inscriber is steel sheet metal blocks, which are 4 steel plates, which you'll have to make those on the metal press that we made in, let's see, what episode was that? That was... number 12. Okay, there we go. And you'll need steel for that. And then you're going to need sapphire, which is pretty easy. Then you're going to need pure fluix crystal, which those you make the fluix crystals and you grind those down, mix them with sand, and you make the fluix seeds to put in here. I have normal ones that I need to grow. Alright, and to make fluix crystals, you can just put redstone, charged Certus quartz, and charged Certus quartz, redstone, and nether quartz in here, and it will turn them into fluix crystals in here, and you get 2 for every set that you make. Alright, pure Certus crystals. Alright, so then you're also going to need pistons and the pure fluix crystal. Put them like that, craft the inscribers. I always make 5 of them. In the first one I put a silicone press, which, like I said, you can get those from the meteors. You can also make them. There's a couple different ways to make them, but they're more expensive. Like this would take a ton of steel. It's just easier to just run around and find them. The other way is with a runic altar. It takes a block of iron, 3 sky stones, so you're going to have to find at least 1 meteor anyway. And then onyx, and you can make it. It doesn't say how much mana, but you can make them, but I've just found it easier to just loot them while I'm exploring. So you throw silicone in here. I put some speed upgrades in here. This is how fast it normally goes. So you'll be here a while. So I just put speed upgrades. There we go. Alright, now you're going to grab some silicone. You're also going to need some redstone. Let me run over here and sleep. Eventually, I'd like to get, I think there's an item you can get that allows you to make it like eternally day, or at least close to it, where you can manipulate time. Alright, so we're getting a bunch of silicone. Now in the next one, I put a calculation press, and for that you put pure Certus in here, and it will make these printed calculation circuits. The next one I do logic, and you put gold in there, and that gives you printed logic circuits. Then the 4th one, I do inscriber engineering press, and you put diamonds in there, and you get printed engineering circuits. Okay, now the 5th one, what you do is you put silicone in here, the printed silicone. You put whatever circuits you want, and you put redstone, and it will turn them into processors. Now you're going to need these for a bunch of different things. One of them is making storage components, which are these things, and these are what are used to make the data drives that you actually store your data on. One thing I do want to mention, let's see, we'll throw these in. One thing I do want to mention, always keep a chest, like a normal chest with fuel in it next to your generator, because if you lose power to this system, you can't access any of your items in it, because anytime you put items in, it uses power. Anytime you pull items out, it uses power, and then it passively uses power. Which sounds, you know, like, oh, well, why would I want to use something that uses power? You know, it's very convenient once you start using it. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to make is an ME drive, and that is 2 graphite blocks, which they use 5 coal and 4 coal dust. Let's see. You want an onyx block, which that's just 9 onyx. Oops, wrong recipe. ME drive. You're going to need electrical steel blocks. You know how to make those. ME conduits. Those are flux crystals, either pure or normal. Always use pure if you can, because for each one of these that you grind up, you get 2 of these. So it only costs half as much. And then the last thing is, oh yeah, engineering processor. So that's 1 diamond right there to use that, or to make that. And a drawer controller, which that is a printed logic circuit. This is the first step. This is not a processor. That's a logic circuit. A couple of item conduits, which those you need pulsating iron nuggets. I made those in another episode. And then the last, or stone up here, and then the last thing is framed trim, which is actually treated sticks, which is treated wood, which you get from surrounding either a bottle or a bucket of creosote with planks to get those. And then once you make that ME drive, you're going to run over, you're going to place it somewhere so that it connects. And actually, I don't want to put it there, I want to put it down one, just so it looks better. Okay. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make a bunch of these ME storage components, and then you're going to you can either use them like that and then build a casing around them so that you can use them, or you can turn them into 4K storage components so they hold 4 times as much, and it only uses 3 of those and a calculation processor. I made these, and then I took those and I put them in casings, so I have 3 drives, and you just put them in here like this. Now the next thing you're going to need, you need a terminal. ME crafting terminal. I always make the crafting one. So for that, you're going to need, if we go all the way back, okay, you're going to need an illuminated panel. So if we run over here, I've got glass, glowstone. Let's see. Bright illuminated panel is an illuminated panel. So here we, what do I need? Oh, I don't have redstone? Oh, I used it for making the circuits. Okay. I lose track of what I have in my inventory and what I don't, and that's why I really want to get this system built. Alright. Quartz glass. Oh, I don't have iron. See what I mean? Okay, illuminated panel. Here we go. We're going to build that. Then we are going, let's see, what do we want? ME crafting terminal is an ME terminal. So we're going to need a formation core, which is fluix dust, any of the quartz. Let's see, so we're going to need to grind some fluix. I wish I'd have remembered that ahead of time. Alright, pull that out. I'm thinking we might need some, let's see, quartz. Oops. Okay, now I don't think you can grind down pure Certus quartz. You can't. Okay. But what you can do, I think, is you do 8 of them like this. You make a block, and then you break the block down into 4. That way, if you forget that you needed some for something, you can always break it back down. You don't gain anything from it, because you're taking 8 to make 4, which is only going to give you 8 seeds anyway. Alright, well, let's grab the quartz dust. So, ME crafting terminal, ME terminal, we need a formation core. And let's see, is it, oh yeah, aha, I remembered. That's for that. Let's see, ME crafting, ME terminal. Here we go. Now, the last step is to put this here. I think it's engineering, and I need a crafting table. Should be in this one. There we go. Oh, one thing I will say, be very careful when auto crafting or shift clicking stuff in, because this terminal can use the Dyer crafting table apparently. And yeah, some recipes that use chests do the same thing. If you were to shift click, you could use like a diamond chest instead of a wooden one by accident to make something completely worthless. Alright, I did something wrong. Oh, it's calculation processor. Okay, put that in here. We now have an ME crafting terminal. So what you're going to do is you're going to click somewhere on one of your cables, and it's going to place this down. All right, now you open it up. This is what it looks like. And now I can shift click all my items and just put them in here like this. Oops. Let's see. I'm going to change the search mode. I think it's standard search. So let's see. If I click, okay, it's not there. So I have to actually click up here. Actually, search box, NEI synchronized standard. So here, if I type something like if I go at APPLIED, you can see it gets rid of all the things that are not applied energistics here. It doesn't show them. And it also brings up over here so that I can find recipes like, oops, if I want to make an ME interface, I can do this. I don't have the glass in here. Let's see. And you can do all sorts of really powerful stuff with this. Like, okay, say ME interface. I can put this here, and I can tell it that I always want to keep, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 calculation processors in this block at all times. And then I can have this pumping into something else that's using the parts or something like that. It's very handy. You can put a crafting card in here so that, just say later on when I get auto crafting, I can put this here and it'll always try and keep 20 here. I can make a card that I can put in here and it will auto craft and place them in here so that I always have a stock of items ready to go. So this is really cool because once I get this going, okay, yeah, here, let me show you this. So you can see I've used 24 out of 63 block types. And I've used 829 of 4,096 bytes. So these drives will fill up eventually, and then you can actually make even bigger ones. You can make, let's see, there's 1K, 4K, 16K, 64K, and then it's 1024, 4096, 1638.4 and 256,000 storage. And then you can also store fluids. Once you unlock Essentia storage, which I've actually unlocked those, let's see, the basic one for that, this is what it takes. I am going to have to make some different, like, solidified essence in order to make these. But I'll be able to pump directly from my Arcane Alembics, digitally store it, and then pull it back out. So no more messing with jars, no more messing with pipes. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get this system going. Plus, you know, I can take, let's see. Oh yeah, if you don't know, if you hold Shift and Spacebar and you click, it will empty your complete inventory. If you click on your inventory, it'll dump it in the chest. And if you stick it or click on the chest, it'll put it in your inventory. So I can just take all these items like this. And the only limit on this storage is based on the drives, and you can just keep adding more and more and more drive bays. One thing you do have to worry about is this uses a channel. This screen uses a channel. This interface will use a channel. I don't think these do, because right now all they're doing is just taking power. All this is doing is taking power and this. So I think I'm only using 2 channels right now, or 3 channels, here, here, and here. And I can break this one up because I really don't need it. So I'm only using 2 channels. You are limited to 8 channels on a line, but you will later on, when you get the resources, you can make this ME controller. This is, let me hit O to get rid of that. This is the recipe for it. It is expensive, but each side of this controller can have 8 different units connected to it. Actually, no, I take it back. I think each side can have 32. And then you can actually connect multiples of these together to expand your system, and you can make a huge system. It's not unlimited, but there are ways to get around it and make it virtually unlimited storage. All right. You can see what I mean. You know, it's already been 15 minutes, and I didn't even craft any of this stuff. I just explained how to do it, and we barely got through this. All right, so now you know how to make all the parts, make the drives, put them in, make the screen. Later on, I might show input ports, output ports, and some auto crafting and things, but this is the basic setup. And you can see we're already filling these drives up. I will have to make quite a few more of these. I need to get into growing crystal seeds in our agricraft. Couldn't remember the name of it. Alright, but it's been 16 minutes, so I better sign off. Until next time, this is CaddywhumpusGamer signing off.